Good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's show. We've got three most handsome contestants looking for just a little bit of love this Valentine's Day. And while we're bringing in our hot-headed honeys over the course of the night, first, I have to show you where we're finding them. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hooked on You, a psychological horror dating sim published by Behavior Interactive, who is, of course, the masterminds behind Dead by Daylight itself. And developed in assistance with PSYOP. And if they sound familiar, that's probably because this was not their first dating sim. According to the devs themselves, a dating sim was one of the most requested experiences, leaving me with more questions than answers. Even though I've only put a couple of hours into Dead by Daylight, I knew I had to dip my toes in the water.
let's meet our first contestant right over here. How we doing tonight, friend?
Oh, I'm doing great tonight, Braden. Thanks for having me.
Well, anytime. Say, you're on the show tonight looking for some love, so tell me, what are you looking for in your ideal romance?
You know, Braden, my last relationship was just so one-sided. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and spreading my wings a little more. I just really hate to feel trapped. No!
Evan McMillan! Look at this poster boy all dressed up. If you're more interested in a partner in crime over a serious relationship, this is the man for you. And I mean that seriously, that's literally what he's asking for. While he is arguably the most off-putting cast member off-rip, his path actually has a lot of great humor trapped within it. After Trapper insults me multiple times for interrupting a volleyball match, he makes up for it by inviting me onto his very own private yacht. He shows off a bit of his character and makes it clear that he hates the island staff, Dwight and Claudette.
My man!
Oh, look, our first minigame! You didn't actually think this game was just text and sliding JPEGs, did you? Every once in a while, you'll be prompted with a wheel where you have to decimate your spacebar to line up with the task that it's asking you to perform. And in this instance, I'm doing shots on a yacht. Once we're back on solid ground, I pass out at dinner, and Trapper tries to show me his, art. I decline. The night wraps up with a scary campfire story, but worry not, as Trapper graciously gifts me a stuffed animal to help me fall asleep. On day 2, Trapper invites me to his secret man cave, and wouldn't you believe it, it's completely filled with traps. He shows me more of his art. Oh, just kidding, he stole this napkin from somebody else. Our last day kicks off with an old-fashioned game of Spot That Trap, before getting dragged back to the mines to meet his dad? Mr. McMillan pulls a pop quiz out of his ass to make sure I'm evil enough to date his son. Luckily, it goes by quick and there won't be any more surprises. Oh my god, that's a disco ball on his cock! Bro, even the game describes the fade to black as uncomfortable. And just as every romantic evening ends, Trapper and I share a moment together by slaughtering Dwight and Claudette in front of his father. What a journey.
Don't lose faith now, son. Last one was just a dud, not a stud. Tell me, what brings you on the show tonight?
I've seen a lot of love shared on this show, Braden, so I'm really looking forward to meeting the love of my life.
Oh, and what does that entail?
Well, let's see. I'm out and about already. How about someone to hit the town with? You know I'm one to get groovy on the dance floor. I'd like to share the spotlight and be seen.
Oh, come on!
So, I hear you like Shy Guys. Wraith is by far the most chill killer on the island. He's just got some self-confidence issues, and there's nothing wrong with that. A date with Wraith starts with a relaxing spa day at the pool where we splash around and respect each other's boundaries. I will say, the worst thing about this route is that Wraith enjoys it more when you're nice to Dwight and Claudette. After fainting at dinner, Wraith wakes us up with the gift of his bell. You know, the... Quite generous, I must say. Afterward, an even scarier campfire story. Please never let this man watch Wall-E. Back at the pool in the morning, Wraith asked me to hang out at his so-called cosmic dump, which even he admits is not an amazing name. Forget the name though, this guy's stacked! We've got cornhole, truth or dare, potions just laying around that I... Once I'm in his good graces, Wraith leads me down to his, secret dungeon. The last day with Wraith has us hijacking Trapper's yacht, where Wraith finally learns to let go of his troubled path by throwing his weapon into the ocean, and he absolutely does not have any more of these anywhere else whatsoever. Back at the cosmic dump, I come to the realization that I've lost. Someone has stolen the bell. Yeah, that sounds right. This brings us around the island, confronting each of these hulking beasts about where Wraith's bell ended up, only to discover that Spirit was the catty culprit all along. And now we're cooking with fire. Finding Wraith's bell impresses him so much that we both slip into something more comfortable, sneak off to the dungeon, and meet up with his grandma? Hello? With 2 more minigames and proof that I know her grandson far better than I should, I find that a happy ending was not an option. The only way to officiate this relationship is cutting Wraith's heart out of his body. Now that gets the blood pumping.
Well, we're 0 for 2 now, but they do say to save the best for last. Tell me, what kind of shenanigans are you looking to get into tonight?
I just want someone who cares, man. Serious, dude? Stupid ass game show, stupid Valentine's, stupid.
Just because she's in multiple pieces doesn't mean there's less to love. Are you a fan of the game with the 5,000 polygon toothbrush? Then this is the path for you. The trifecta of Spirit's personality is her nonchalant attitude, her yearning to break the chains of society, and vengeance! This route also forces your self-insert character to act like super emo, which I guess is an attempt to impress her. Spirit's date starts us out at the lounge, where we share a drink, never mind she doesn't drink, and talk about old horror novels that I've definitely read before. After book club, the whole squad plays a game of spin the bottle. Unfortunately, Spirit has no interest in playing by the rules of this game. In a nice change of pace, Spirit offers a romance story, which unfortunately devolved into a different kind of scary than the others. Her story ends up with her in tears, so to cheer herself up, she invites me to the hot tub. Oh my. Day 2 swims up meeting Spirit at the pool once again. She invites me over to her dark and brooding abode, which sounds like loads of fun. The looming lighthouse really sets the romantic scene. We lay down in the sand, we watch the ghost ships pass by, she asked me to rub sunscreen on her feet. Wait, hold on, what? Eventually, Wraith comes along to attempt stealing the show, trying to convince me to leave Spirit and go with him instead. I've seen your content already, Wraith, get the hell out of here. And wouldn't you know it, choosing Spirit here gets her to open up a little bit more. Some conversation under the cherry blossom tree, another tale around the fire, and ending the evening sharing non-alcoholic drinks. Our final day has us on Trapper's yacht again, so Spirit can yap some more, then traveling back to the lighthouse where she shows us her collection of eldritch horrors beyond human comprehension. And even though I pass the test, I somehow look into it and pass out anyway. Talk about railroading. I wake up somewhere in Trapper's mine shaft, listening to Spirit break up with Trapper. She dumped the big man for me? Oh, that's so nice of her. I wonder what else she has to say. Well, that's rude. Trapper then wants to give me a pop quiz about how well I know Spirit. Brother, you're not even in the picture anymore. Get the hell out of here. Back at the Eldritch Portal, a familiar face appears before us, and I'm not talking about Dwight and Claudette. Spirit's great-great-great-great-grandpa pops in, and I'm really starting to sense an ongoing theme between these. After some banter about what it truly means to respect your elders, my time with Spirit comes to a close with accepting her request to join her quest for vengeance, and decapitating Dwight and Claudette on the spot. Truly, the goth babe and I are unstoppable.
Folks, as disappointing as it is when nobody takes love home with them, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Now don't go anywhere. My producers are telling me that there was one more killer set to hit the scene tonight. But it's just me left on stage. Let's see who it is. Yeah!
Of course I dated Huntress on my first playthrough. Who do you think I am, an animal? Listen, Everybody thirsts over this woman, and I'm not gonna be the first one to disagree. The devs really dove into the caretaker personality for this excursion. Impressing Huntress begins with allowing the killers to finish the volleyball game that I have been so rudely interrupting every time I start a new game. Then to prove I'm a threat, I have to best Huntress in an axe-throwing competition, which should be simple. It's not like that's her entire kit or anything. Later that night, after I definitely won that competition, Huntress regales us with childhood memories. Ah, how traumatic. On day 2, Huntress takes me under her wing on a trip to her, cabin in the woods. But I'm sure nothing will jump out at us here, and oh my god, Huntress has crabs! But don't worry, we dealt with them safely and responsibly. In a small escape from the cottage, Huntress and I arrive at the beach to watch Trapper rise from the ocean floor, sexually. Trapper wants me. Been there, done that, let's go back home with Huntress. After a game of hide and seek, we return to the campfire for one final story of a siren song before taking it back to the bar and hey! We can actually share a drink with this one! She offers to make me a mask and I, of course, ask for an anglerfish because they are the most horrifying animal to exist on this planet. Day 3 starts off with a Moving on, Huntress and I take it back to the cabin to get a little cozy, Nick Cage mentioned, but before we can move on with movie night, our last task to swoon Huntress is to hunt for stolen treasure. Talk about minigame mayhem, we travel from Trapper to Wraith, Ghostface mentioned, to Spirit, to Trickster? And once we're back home, we're hunted down by Huntress's mother. Enough with the family reunions, for fuck's sake. After sharing a special moment, we step back onto the sand for the last time to admit our love, and the credits roll over one love-struck island.
Folks, it's been my absolute pleasure having you here tonight, and my most sincere thanks for sticking it out till the end. Enjoy some statistics that are right next to my head. And if you enjoyed today's presentation, consider hitting that subscribe button, because I can tell you now, there's plenty more where this came from. But until next time, stay lumpy!